We're totally recording now. Yeah! Okay. So, as you see, I didn't put up my green screen filter because I want to see if my computer runs better recording and not also trying to do that. Because if it does, that would be great. So this is kind of a test session. If it's running better, but it's not better enough, then next time I'll have it back on. If it is better enough without it that I like it, then that thing will go away. And you'll start having a wall behind me. I don't think anybody cares. I don't care anymore. It was neat. I'm over it.
You just had a whole conversation with yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm talking to the future one guy who might watch this. Hi, one guy.
Ah.
Hi. Okay.
So,
Let's move us off here.
one guy.
Yeah. Oops. Everything got rearranged. Where did we end up? Go back over there. The computer's working too well. I'm all confused. Grab that thing and move it over here.
You're so used to dealing with drag.
Yeah, like a lot of drag. Okay, and I still have a little.
Ooh.
It's just, it's nowhere near as much. This is all, I can already tell this is way better. Let me make sure that we are recording because it would make sense why it doesn't suck. No, we are recording, so yeah. I guess I'm not going to do that no more.
I can just imagine. I can just imagine you forgot to record. Okay, everybody, we're starting the game over again at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Well, I mean, our very first game didn't get recorded. Well, I mean, it did, but it was on a crappy computer and it didn't record right. And it just had, like, it was like a 2.5 hour session and it only recorded like 20 minutes. And it wasn't a straight 20 minutes. It was bits and pieces of it. Whenever it was able to gather enough RAM to grab a couple words, then it put it. So, no, it wasn't usable. It was pretty funny. Okay, so here's our Factions of El Paso page. As you can see, I have put the Toreador clan now in the Prince Goldman column. So, yeah, that happened. That is, you guys are now aware of that. And I think I also added Emily's new picture to the Valentina box. I think that's the only changes I... Oh, and I added a box for unknown Bruja members because there was some room in there and I did it for Nosferatu, so I'll probably add one in the Venture too. I'm just taking the picture from in the book. Okay. So, let's go over our story and our recap. Glasses are on. I can read. Even the immortal kindred don't last forever. Sunlight, fire, decapitation. There are ways to destroy them. The spines of the cactus, in their 21 years of unlife, have experienced more horror than most kindred twice their age. From the cold-blooded murder of a stripper behind Noche Vita, to being trapped in an RV trailer while their friend's hand was cut off, and to the torture of Craig and the rescue of Emily. What they haven't experienced so far is the true loss of someone close to them. But death comes for everyone, even the monsters of the night, and this is the story of how the spines of the cactus were forced to learn that the dead can die again, that they do die again, that the final death is indeed something to fear. The night is a dangerous place with enemies in every shadow. Sometimes they even look like friends. Nowhere is safe. Danger is all around you. War has fallen on the kindred of El Paso, and it couldn't have happened at a worse time. The Second Inquisition is seething at the loss of its agents. Faith hunters have been tracking kindred for months. The Sabbat is out there somewhere. Antoine Salazar still wants Craig. Archbishop Felix Zambada Valdez has been organizing the Sabbat, and according to the Prince of Mexico City, Rodrigo is still pulling their strings. In addition, lupine activity has started to surge again, though for the most part they have stayed out of kindred business, but wolves will be wolves, and eventually their business will crash with kindred business. It always does. So no, this was not a good time for the clans to go to war. But war was inevitable. and now the best thing to do is bring it to a swift end. The spines of the cactus are trying to support Prince James's hold on the city, while also feigning neutrality. While most of the spines worked to rid Aaron Hopkins of his blood bond to Baron Vincent, Jack was meeting with Prince Goldman. Goldman seems equally interested in ending the war quickly, and with his recent recruitment of the Toreador clan, things are going his way. But when Jack brought up the possibility that Rodrigo, thought to have answered the beckoning, may still be pulling the strings of the Sabbat, Goldman and his court got worried. It would be just like Rodrigo to be somehow manipulating their war. He's done it before. He's always a step ahead of them, or two, or three. When the discussion ended, Prince Goldman ordered his court dismissed so he could talk with Jack in private. He offered Jack his choice of two positions. He could take over as sheriff of El Paso, or he could take charge of the mortal police force of the city, not only bringing his knowledge to bear, but also making sure the position is held by someone who would not use and abuse the mortal police force as others would. It wasn't until Jack was reunited with the coterie and playing the whole thing out over in his mind that he came to realize the lack of surprise from Eric Masters after he told the court about Rodrigo's possible return. Eric Masters has been a friend to the coterie. He's been one of few Ventru not blatantly trying to use them. He assisted them with their need for a surveillance van. Somehow he even claimed, or something he even claimed to do outside of Goldman's knowledge, so that the coterie could remain neutral and even be free to use the van on Goldman, should the need arise. But now Jack is worrying if they were being played. Perhaps Eric Masters knows more about Rodrigo's present whereabouts than anyone has suspected. And now he has a seat at Goldman's court, acting as his voice as he carries the title Herald to the Prince. So now the sun has gone back down. The discussion got started about what to do, about the possibility of Eric Masters betraying you. But now that has to wait for later. Dragos is here! Jessica stepped outside, and as she opened the door, you hear that. And that is where we are, at the abandoned motel.
And just to reiterate, the other Malkavians are also all outside as
The
well.
other
right?
Malkavians are also outside as well.
Okay. Oh,
I have so
Lean
much
over
more
to,
movement and control of the computer, it's crazy.
I guess I'll just say to the group in general, who's Drago?
He's he was the
Malkavian Elder.
yeah. That about does it.
Oh no.
Isn't he? I can't remember his name. The one that sired Jessica's sire? Or am I wrong?
The one that what?
The one that sired Jessica's sire.
No. He's Jessica Sire's master. He is not Jessica Sire's sire.
Oh,
He
okay.
trained him. He killed Jessica Sire's sire because he wanted Aaron Hopkins to be trained the way he wanted him to be trained. I'm not sure if that was brought up yet.
Okay.
I think it was. Well,
I think it was.
What was brought up is that Dragos has had. I wrote this down somewhere. Maybe it was in there and I deleted it. Dragos has had actual physical contact with Vasanta Sena, who is the bloodline that Janina is in.
Hmm.
The leader, well, for ever since, 1490, something like that, she was the leader of the Malkavians in the Sabbat. She left the Sabbat and joined the Camarilla just like a few years ago. You guys totally don't know that. Jessica probably doesn't know that.
Okay. Huh. Right. Well, how do all the other Malkavians react? Like, if I look at them and try to just gauge their reaction, like,
Okay, I'll go one
how
by
are they
one.
acting?
Dr. Walter Triton doesn't look up from his book. Okay. Aaron Hopkins kind of turns his head away just a little bit, like he doesn't want to make eye contact. Melissa charges at him and says, with open arms, "Uncle Dragos!" And kind of jumps into a hug on him. They just met yesterday. But, you know, she doesn't have a very good sense of time.
How does Dragos react to the hug?
Yeah, he welcomes it. But then he steps back out of it after, you know, real quick. And he pats her on the head.
Okay. Should we be worried about this guy? Does anyone?
He's got, and Craig kind of just looks at him like he's got Jedi mind power, so be aware of that.
Not
Doesn't
sure what the
everybody?
Jedi part of that means, but mind powers, I'm aware.
Okay, just so you know.
Does he turn to us, or does he just stay focused on them?
He stays focused on them. He takes Melissa's hand and goes walking up towards Hopkins and Dr. Triton, and Jessica is joining them.
I'm not gonna interrupt that. I'm just gonna, I guess, observe respectfully.
Okay.
I agree.
How long do they talk for if we let them?
Okay, well, you have some trouble hearing everybody except for Dragos, because Dragos is not shy at all. So, you don't catch the entire conversation, but you are getting that Dragos is trying to bring Aaron Hopkins and his childer back into the Sabbat.
Oh,
And this
no.
would be a good conversation for Janina to be in on, but she's not here. So
What? How is he? How is he dressed? Like he's not wearing another like supervillain costume, is he?
no, he's dressed like he is in the picture.
Okay.
He's got the beard now too, but you know why he has a beard now and he didn't yesterday. He shaved yesterday. That's all it is. You wake up every night with the hairstyle you dyed it. Unless you're Adriana and can choose.
He's trying to get them to join the Sabbat. And I'm just looking at Jessica, just like, what is her reaction? Like,
I don't know.
yeah.
Can we hear it? Conversation.
If you go a little closer, you might be able to. You can hear Dragos' end of the conversation. Dragos is saying, I wrote down a line or two. Let's see. Just to give me ideas of what. I mean, it's a lot harder without Jessica here to have a conversation with. Yeah, so as you're listening in, he says, Archbishop Felix is welcoming man. He will be very glad to see you return. Aaron Hopkins looks hesitant, but not resistant. Melissa seems to be along for the ride wherever the hell happens. And Dr. Triton has closed his book and is paying attention to the conversation, though not taking part in it. He did close the book on his finger, though, so he could return at any time.
I feel like Jessica would be saying something right now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm sure
This is
she
kind
would
of
if
a
she
weird-
could.
In that regard.
Here,
So-
let
This
me
is a
let
weird
me fuck with
predicament.
Jessica. I can fuck with Jessica. What do you think Jessica would say? Just, I mean, not necessarily words, but like, what points would she try to make?
I mean, she wouldn't she be against, because she's against people who want power and to use other people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she'd probably bring up like our relationship with like Prince James and all of this and how we're on like, not that we're like with him or dedicated to him, but we're on good standing and you know, he's been respectful with us and
I feel like she would also probably try to, in a low key way, be like, the Sabbat aren't good based on like my interactions with them.
I mean,
But I don't know
she
what
might
just
also
the way of saying that would be.
she might also pry for information too, like not saying anything like to commit her, but like trying to get more information, like where they're located, or that's how I think she might do it.
Who joined us?
Serious.
oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, serious.
We're trying to collectively decide what Jessica would say since the key roleplay moment revolves around her right now.
Mhm.
Okay. This is resisted with her composure plus intelligence, which she's actually good at. So we'll roll this first. I get a 2-die bonus because I have blood potency so high that just happens. I do have to make a rouse check. Hunger game. Now he's at 1. Okay. 5 successes. This is important. And she is clearly the most intelligent Malkavian here. So he's going to spend a willpower point. And reroll 3 of those.
D Joker sounds like a One Piece name.
So he has 6 successes. And what did I say to resist it with? Composure and
Intelligence and resolve?
intelligence and composure.
No, it was composure.
Okay, so let's find Jessica. I got too many sheets open. Close that. Close that. Close that. Okay. Player character sheets. Core. Okay, so Jessica has 4 composure and 3 intelligence.
It's gotta be all successes to resist it, won't it?
Okay. Composure and intelligence. Oh, 4. She's got 1, 2 fails. Does she spend
Yeah,
a
the
willpower
5
point
is a
to
fail,
reroll
right?
those 2? She
I
can
bet she can
feel
tie
him
it.
probing into her mind. With this much intellect and the understanding that she has, she could feel him probing in.
Sorry. I clicked reroll and I
Okay.
wanted to see if it would prompt anything. What's my bad?
That was better. I'm going to use yours. No. Okay, so let's
No, no,
reroll
no.
for her too. It's only 2 dice. She only has 2 failures. Well, she did it.
Hey.
She matched it. Okay, now it's really too bad that she's not here.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. She can feel him in her mind, and she pushes him out. And the smile on Joker's face just... it's gone. And his eyes kind of narrow as he's looking at her. What do you know of the Sabbat, girl? Okay, start feeding lines to Jessica. You guys can argue it until you come up with what you want to say. But don't come up with it tactically. Come up with it as to what you think is most likely Jessica would say.
Is it possible that we could like delay the scene and then this specific one and then come back to it?
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen after this.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is kind of important, I would wager.
We're stuck. Yeah. Alright.
I have no idea. I don't know if you guys are going to take Hopkins, Triton, and Melissa to James. I don't know if you guys are going to end up fighting Dragos. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It depends on how this scene goes. So, yeah, she should be here. She probably worked hard and fell asleep.
Sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
Yeah. But
I think my gut instinct
bad times.
if
What?
I think my gut instinct for Jessica maybe might be snarky remark along the lines of, I know that when I was first, what did Kindred use for not born, but what did they use?
Embraced.
Is there like origin term?
Embrace.
Embraced, that's right. It's like when I was first embraced, I was almost killed by the Sabbat. Lead with that, maybe.
The good guys don't need to resort to torture? And she's seen the Sabbat torture?
What
Well,
tor-
not seen them, but like...
Well, I
Craig
mean,
was
I guess
tortured.
she did.
No.
She did with Craig. Yeah. But to say the Camarilla doesn't torture is just going to make him laugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a reason that there's an anarch movement.
So wait, are the Anarchs the nicest ones? Oh, well, we'll talk about that later. Never mind.
It depends who you ask, but I mean, members of the Camarilla aren't going for nice. Vampires.
By the
don't
way,
tend
I
to-
joined the chat a few minutes ago. I just want to say hi, everybody. Sorry, I'm
Hey.
late.
No problem.
No
Keep doing
worries.
what you're doing.
I put it in the chat.
Okay.
Mm.
I think she's all about the self-determinism and freedom that the Camarilla are
Closer.
and Anarchs are more willing to allow, as opposed to the Sabbat that kind of have a specific dominating agenda for all.
Okay. That's what you think she says? Is that what you guys all think she says?
Hmm.
I'm just trying to make a best guess of what she might say.
That might be the thing she says, because you guys really don't know shit about the spot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or the Camarilla, for that matter.
We have been strangely sheltered from a certain point of view.
In a weird way, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Unless anyone has an argument, I think that might be the point she makes.
Wait, of course we do know stuff about the Sabbat. We have to. We've been Spines of the Cactus. We've been around for 20 years while this battle goes on with them.
Yep.
So I don't see.
And then again, do you really know the type of person you are when you're fighting them? You know? Everybody's an asshole once they're pissed off.
I would hope we got better intel. I don't know. I wish I could be a little more productive, but I rolled in like I don't really understand this what's going on, so I have no input right now. Sorry.
You guys
Joker-
are, as a group, trying to determine what Jessica said is in response to what Drago said. I don't even remember what Drago said. What did he say?
What do you know about the spot?
Are you?
Yeah,
do you
I was
even
here for
know-
that
what
part.
do you even know
Oh,
about
do you
the-
even know
yeah,
what the? Do you know anything about the Sabbat, or what do you even know about the Sabbat? Something like that.
And basically, Drago is trying
Yeah, I
to
caught
convince
that
her
last part. I
to.
was here for that.
Okay.
And Drago is trying to
Go ahead.
convince her to join the Sabbat.
Yes, he is.
Mm.
Aaron Hopkins' whole childer, all three of them.
Well, then no, I would think Jessica's character would say something like, sorry, it's not one of my aspirations is to join a band of murderous vampires intent on wiping the world out as we know it. Something like that.
As we know, it is a good point.
Is Dragos isn't Sabat, right?
He seems to be from this conversation.
Do we just rush him then, since he is the enemy? I don't.
Are all of us there?
Yes. Mila has the most information on the Sabbat of all you guys.
She does. She
Yes.
might.
You've spent quite a bit of time with them while you were gone.
Well, I don't know. So if you want to say
Okay.
what knowledge he has.
All right, so the Sabbat are into Cainite freedom. They refuse to join with the Camarilla because the Camarilla thinks everybody should follow exactly what the elders say, that everyone should be slaves and subservient to their elder. The Sabbat believe that they do not use the word kindred. They use the word Cainite. They believe that Cainites are the superior being, that every Cainite should be free to make their own choice, to live their own life, and to live a path that they choose rather than a path that pretends to remain human. And they think that the humans are food. That's the overall beliefs of the Sabbat.
So they're basically Magneto.
Yeah, well, they were the Anarchs before the Anarchs. They were the first Anarchs. The first Anarch rebellion turned into the Sabbat, and then the second one started in like 1940 something in California. That's the Anarch movement that you guys are familiar with. He's this new one.
Is that Anarch movement? But the new Anarch movement is different ideologically.
Yeah, it's not. It's about resisting Camarilla control, but as far as the freedoms aspect, they're still quite similar. But the Sabbat's overall goal is to destroy the antediluvians that are trying to control all Cainites, the founders of your clans. They've killed their own.
That's the new Anarchs?
No, that's the Sabbat. The new Anarchs just want freedom from the Camarilla. They want to be left
From what I
alone.
understand, Jessica is kind of coming from the concept to defend humanity from the more negative aspects of vampire society. So because of that,
as far
I think
as versus humanity goes, the Sabbat are the worst choice.
Yeah,
the Sabbat are the ones that
And
are
I
the
think-
worst choice for humans.
and I think that's where her main focus would be.
Okay. So if that's where focus, not talking about Cainite freedom, because that's going to make him laugh at her. But
Yeah,
talking
no.
about
She was like,
yeah.
the humans.
So that's what he is. The kind.
Jessica's an Anarch, right?
No, Jessica is independent.
Isn't that what new anarchs are?
No, Anarchs are an official faction now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, independence just factionless.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So you're with the Camarilla to protect the kind. You hear this, Aaron? Nonsense. Nonsense. What did you teach this girl? Well, I didn't teach her to be Sabat, is what Hopkins says. I taught her to be her own person. Dragos gives kind of a flourishing bow with that. As well you should. Well, that didn't sound like Dragos. As well you should. So, we remove Jessica from equation then. She will not get along with Sabat. But, Aaron, you and Melissa and definitely Mr. Triton can learn much. Allowing me to continue teaching you the dementation of our clan.
At that, I think Jessica would say, I just freed you from one blood bond. Are you going to go dig yourself into another?
The Sabat do not use blood bonds on Canaanites. We resist.
But binding
blood
yourself
bonds
to
on
one
them.
ideology is the same thing.
It is not. Choosing to bind yourself to an ideology is a choice. Being bloodbound gives you no choice. Being bloodbound makes you slave to your regnant. You freed Aaron. He is no longer slave to his regnant. I thank you for this. I would have done it myself if I could. But Santa Sena's gift did not reflect upon me in that way.
I think she would say something along the lines of, you taught me to think for myself. Binding yourself to this ideology, especially one that is as flamboyant as this, is kind of counterproductive.
Okay. What's everybody else think?
That would be my guess.
I think she would point out that he does want to try to be a primogen of the Camarilla under James, like they was talked about earlier too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would have thought she would have pointed out that we thought we had a deal in that respect.
What deal?
As far as her releasing the blood bond and him throwing his support behind James.
You guys were never even told that James.
Yeah,
wanted them.
that wasn't something that was said.
No.
Yeah,
I thought we.
No, you
think
guys,
it was
you guys
something-
discussed the possibility that after his blood bond
Yeah.
was broken, maybe you can
Yeah, we were-
convince them to come back to James. But then
Yeah,
you're going to have to
we
convince
were-
James to accept him because James never did the first time. But he's
Yeah,
he's hurting
that,
more, so maybe
would-
he would.
that was like step 6. We were still
Yeah.
on step 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, because I remember him just saying, because she asked, well, what would it take or something like that, and he's like, well, being made a primogen would be a start or something along those lines.
Yeah, it was still in motion, not definite.
Yeah. I think he's thinking about.
But yeah, you guys weren't sent to recruit Hopkins.
We were
sent
just meant to
convince
remove him
to
as a
get
tool
away
from the opposition.
Yeah, to get away from Vincent, and then you found out that he was bonded to Vincent.
Well,
So
I
you
mean,
you
maybe
actually
she could say-
saved him instead of just convinced him away. So you do have a very good argument to try and convince him to join with James. If James will want them.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe she could say, because what's maybe appropriate for this moment is for her to say, what Wimrider said, as far as, hey, let her. You've always you raised me or taught me to think for myself, and making an immediate decision like this when you just got rid of a blood bond maybe isn't appropriate. Let us lay some options out for you.
Very good. I like it.
Including what
I like it,
like that.
and I like the way it can end the scene. So yeah, Dragos agrees. Perhaps you should think on this, Aaron. Dragos will come back in when Dragos feels like. Dragos will see you around. Think about what to do. Think about the life you had in Sabat. Think about the life you have now with Camarilla and with Blood Bonded that we had to break. Well, that she had to break. And decide where was better fit for Aaron. And I will come back and find out. And then convince you which one is right anyway. Okay. And he waves over at you guys over at the door of the motel. Hi! Dragos is leaving. Do you guys have any questions for Dragos?
No?
Where are the?
If this is
Sabat
a
held up?
stupid question based on what I meant at the based on what I missed at the beginning of the scene, I think Hector might ask. So, are you Sabat? Unless it's really apparent from what, like, I don't know if I missed earlier conversations.
It's been pretty apparent. Plus, now
Okay,
that
so he
you
is
think
Sabat.
about it, Aaron Hopkins mentioned that his master was Sabat, and then you guys were like, "Oh, well, maybe that's why James didn't let him be part of the Camarilla." And then when you guys saw Dragos, the first thing that he said was "Master." So, but yeah, I mean, it's obvious now. Yeah, you could still say that. Like, were you Sabat yesterday?
No, that's okay.
I mean, he was cool. You guys didn't have any
Right.
problem with him until now. It's like right in your face, and he's still not having an actual issue with you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask that question.
Okay. Bye bye. And he turns around, he starts walking, and then he just disappears to everybody except for Jessica and Melissa.
But I want to know if he's gone for sure. Is there any way I can know? Because Craig doesn't have like.
You can still say
Unseen or
something
anything.
and see if he answers.
Dragos, are you here still? That's all Craig's gonna say because he doesn't know.
And Dragos reappears and he looks back. Dragos is still here. What you have to say, no one? Nobody. Sorry, I had it wrong. Nobody.
No magic exits and all.
What? He starts walking over towards you guys. So he was leaving, but Craig convinced him to come back, so he's coming back.
Well,
Mr. Nobody, what was you want to ask
Yeah,
Dragos?
well, now that you're here, there is
Craig,
something I've been curious
For
about.
anyone who doesn't remember, Craig told Dragos his name was Nobody.
Yeah. There's something I am curious about. Werewolves seem to hate kindred, and I mean, I like really hate them. But I've seen certain
Cainites.
werewolves.
Don't use that word. You're better than that word. Cainites. We are the children of Cain.
Okay, if
yes,
you prefer
The
Cainites.
dogs hate us. The dogs hate us, yes.
But then I've seen certain werewolves that hang around with other Cainites. Why would that be?
You did?
I'm sorry?
You did? They was crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. What? They's crazy. Their friends will kill
So
them.
there's. So they're werewolves that don't get along with the other werewolves, but they like kindred, or they accept or tolerate kindred.
I do not think so, but if you've seen this with your own eyes, Nobody, then it must be.
I mean, I was being tortured and I might have been hallucinating, but I'm pretty sure I saw a werewolf and a canine getting along. You haven't seen anything like that in your travels? That's not
No.
common in the Sabbat?
No.
Hmm.
I hear some stories. The upper the highest ranks sometimes will make deals with higher ranks of dogs, of lupines, when they have a mutual problem to solve. But never have I seen this with my own eyes.
Like Christmas in the trenches in World War II. Well,
That did
one.
happen once.
I don't know. I don't know much of the World War II. I was here in the Americas. And I was very sleepy.
Busy time for me.
Was it? It was not busy time for Dragos. Dragos needed to sleep. But Dragos is awake now, yes? It's great party time. Okay, no other questions. Dragos will leave so Aaron can decide on what is best for him and his progeny. Bye!
No, I'm just curious about werewolves right now.
You stay away from werewolves. They suck. They want to kill you. They know make good pets.
Really bitey people.
Yeah. They know make good pets. They want to kill you. You stay away from them. That's the way that you live to be older. Do you want to go fight the lupines? That's the way you know live to be older. Never has Dragos fought lupines.
The secret to a long life is being when there's a fight, being somewhere else. Yep.
Yes, this is true. And to de-escalate fights. There are other ways to fight other than fisticuffs or war. There are other ways to win war than with actual battle.
Yeah.
Dragos has not seen actual battle in a long time. His eyes kind of glaze over just a little bit as he's thinking. Long time. Okay. No other questions for Dragos? New Dragos friends? Dragos will leave.
Alright.
Dragos would invite you all to Sabbat as well, but Dragos don't know you that well, and Dragos don't know Archbishop Felix very well. You may have clash personalities or clash history that Dragos don't know. Dragos not from here.
I just say, I think we've got a clash of values. I think it's time we separate for tonight.
Okay. Bye-bye! And he starts walking away again.
Yeah, Bright politely nods, you know, in a game recognizes game type fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Even though he would most likely ignore the hell out of me.
Oh yeah, he didn't pay attention to you. Not because you're a ghoul. No, it's because you're still a human.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm below notice.
Yeah. You're kind of below notice in the Camarilla, but it's worse for them. Ghouls are absolute tools to the Sabbat, and they don't even usually keep them around for as long as the Camarilla does.
I just look over to Bright and I say, I'm sure he wouldn't ignore you if you put a bunch of lead through the back of his head, but let him be. Sabbat.
Oh, dude.
Creek?
Oh no, I was just I forgot to ask Sestonn if like, because I know they don't like humans. So does that mean they have like a thing against vampires with high humanity? Is that something they notice? Or is that something other vampires notice?
Sabat?
That
I mean, you can
that'd be
usually
more
see
along
it.
the lines of thinking they're foolish.
Yeah, you can see it in people in vampires. Like you know that this guy's 30 years old or been a vampire for 30 years, and he still looks and acts like a human. Yeah, he's a joke. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, Craig's a year old, so he's
But the Sabat do not usually follow the path of humanity. Vasenta Sena is one of the ones that do follow the path of humanity.
Okay. All right, with that out of the way, do we want to go ahead and relay those messages we were going to relay to try to get everybody to get off each other's throats for that exact reason, and then gestures over to the direction Dragos left in, where they can divide us further?
I mean,
Oh, I totally
It
forgot.
does
There
seem
was
like-
something I wanted Dragos to tell you guys. All right, Dragos comes back. You see him? He's like
What now?
50 yards away.
I didn't
when
call
he
him this time.
reappears. Dragos
What?
is back. Dragos forgot to tell you something. Especially you guys who hate Sabat for some reason. I understand the reason. We clash. Yes? So, Felix is putting together army of shovelheads. Do you guys know what shovelhead is?
Huh.
You know what
Yeah.
shovelhead is? Yes? Okay. Expecting shovelhead attack soon. I would expect. Yes. Okay, Drago's gone now.
Hey, why are you telling us this?
Why not? You guys are my friends. We had fun last night, yeah. Dragos is not servant to Archbishop Felix. Dragos is Sabat. Dragos is true Sabat. Dragos is not servant to anyone. Plus, maybe Dragos wants to take his place. Or maybe Dragos doesn't. You don't know. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, Bright leans over to you and says, "Malk, remember Malk?"
Okay.
Bye, Uncle Dragos. Melissa says. Waving all big.
I just walk over to Aaron, and the Malkavians will just look at Aaron for a second and just say, I hope you, not hope, I know you're better than to go back to the Sabat. And then I just walk away. Go back to the main group.
As you walk away, you hear Melissa ask Aaron, "What's the Sabat?" I keep hearing this name. I don't know what it means. What's the Sabat? And Dr. Triton looks at Aaron and says, "What's dementation?" And that's the last thing you hear as you walk away. It's probably the first time you hear Triton talk, because most of you have never heard Triton talk. Unless you went and had a personal conversation with him. He doesn't talk in a group.
Interesting. So I look back to the rest of the group. Okay, so whatever he just said, whether that's true or not, the shovelhead attack, that's really bad. You're all aware of what those are, right?
No.
Anybody drawing a blank?
Aren't they zombies, basically?
I think Bright would know, but I don't recall what it is.
I'll just to reiterate, everybody.
Okay.
It's if you were embraced and immediately thrown into a grave and buried alive in mass. The ones who are able to scrawl their way out of the earth, they get broken completely mentally. It's like, it's like mass combat, like mass casualty warfare, but for kindred.
Okay.
It's genocide. It's genocidal warfare.
And that's what they were trying to do to Craig, right?
Well, that was more like as a hobby. Yeah.
Yeah, Craig was more for
As a
pleasure.
hobby, that's
That was just
That's
something
somehow
fun
worse.
they were doing because he like called the cops on them or something. I don't remember.
yeah.
I
He
think that's what
messed
it
up
was.
with
He
like one
called
of
the
the
cops
rings.
on them, so they decided to fuck with him. That's all that was. But it's the same basic idea. But yeah, to break them. So so when the Sabbat sends they will mass embrace, bury them all, wait for them to come up, starving, the ones that do come up, and then set them on the city. And if the Camarilla wants to protect its masquerade, they have to fight the shovelheads.
Oh man. Wouldn't it be something if those faith hunters just ended up coincidentally on our side in the fight? That'd be cool.
Oh, they probably will.
Oh, they probably will. But then as soon as an enemy goes down, they're gonna turn
Yeah,
on us real quick.
maybe even during it. But as long as you
Yeah.
keep away from them, they'll definitely be anti-shovelhead.
Is there?
They're not
Is there
like these aren't the
anywhere-
vampires we're looking for. Fuck these guys. Just let them eat people. We're looking for the smart ones. What were you asking, Craig?
Oh, is there anywhere that they could actually like, if they were gonna do a shovelhead attack? Is there anywhere that they would do that? Like, would it be like? Because I don't think it would be like on the outskirts of the city, because that'd be too easy to counter. Wouldn't you want to do it inside the city?
Yep.
Like somewhere where there's a lot of dirt that they can just pop up.
Yep.
Construction
Or on
site?
the outskirts.
I don't know.
The outskirts work too, as long as it's not very far. Yep. All of these things are true. Okay, so you guys are just hanging around outside the motel and talking for now.
Well, we're kind of in shock, I think. Because it's a lot of information, unless someone wants to.
Maybe it's not even real, and Dragos is just watching you guys screw
Yeah.
around like ants.
As I said, milk,
I mean-
be milk. So I would say
He
either
didn't kill anybody though, so that's good. I thought he was going to kill somebody today. So.
So
Well, I mean,
my
I thought we were all
suggestion
going to
to
charge him at one
Charlie-
point.
Mhm.
I was
it's one of these-
contemplating it, but I didn't want to just like kill the messenger.
He was there under a flag of truce, so
I don't think he did anything that would warrant us attacking him.
He did try to do something to Jessica, but she was too smart.
But didn't you do it first?
No, she resisted.
No,
was
I
a
thought
res-
that
It was a
thought
resistance
she-
roll she did.
work with him and he felt it. And then
No,
he did. No? Oh, I guess I'm... Okay. Well,
Well, I mean, do we want to go ahead and talk to the people that we need to talk to let them know about Rodrigo, and then maybe just add the shovelhead thing on top as a unconfirmed report?
I send it up as an unconfirmed report, but otherwise, unless we're using this as a excuse to do something bigger, I would just raise the alert level. That's just me.
I wouldn't want us to risk the legitimacy of our word by saying that there's an imminent shovelhead attack and then it be a ruse.
That's why I said, that's why I said, say, this is from an unreliable source, but,
Well, I mean, wouldn't we want to say that there's literally, or no, would we get in trouble for just talking to a Sabbat and letting him walk away? Because technically it is our job to hunt them down.
once again, there were plenty of times in like World War II and other, eras like that where people on opposing sides of the war were able to interact with each other without it instantly turning into bullets. So it's not unprecedented.
Well, that's true too, but he was also trying to coax. Like he wasn't just here for peace. He was legit actively trying to coax people and increase the Sabbat count, the Sabbat force.
Well, while people who he knew he couldn't, while we were there, so it might have just have been easily a half-hearted thing. You don't try and like get the addict to take the drugs back while he's still at AA.
Yeah, that's true.
You guys could talk to Aaron more about him. You guys could talk to Aaron more about the Sabbat.
All right.
You do know
That
he
might
used
be
to
wise.
You guys could take Aaron to meet James. You guys have a lot of options you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has got to
You
be
could
like
even
a
consider
group-
the job complete and just go looking for a new job, or whatever you guys want to do.
I
This
just
is
want to
gotta
relay
be-
the messages and see how that impacts the current struggle.
Okay, yeah. This is a decision that you guys got to make. Bright's got one job, and that's what he's paying attention to.
Yep.
I mean, it's probably a good idea to just alert everybody that there was. I mean, the shovel attack is kind of imminent. Like he did say soon, so at the very least, they didn't know that that's a possibility. And we're not giving them our word that it's happening. We're saying that we've heard that there's mumbling of it happening.
Unreliable source.
Well, we know it's Sabbat.
Which is unreliable to us, their enemy.
Oh yeah, that's true. But yeah, just telling them to be. Or you know what? It could also be too. They're planning something, but it's not a shovelhead attack. Like just for them to be on alert. Just we noticed some strange activity, and maybe the people on top should know.
Yeah.
Hey, be on alert.
All right, so somebody make a phone call.
No phone calls.
No messages.
I meant metaphorical phone call.
Okay, because people have been making some calls recently, so I just assumed you meant literal. We just need to go talk to the people that we have good relations with individually or in pairs, groups, and get it all out.
All of them. That is Baron Vincent, Prince Goldman, Prince James, and Prince the Rat King.
If I remember when we talked earlier, James already knows, but the Shovelhead news is new. But I think we had said that we were thinking about Hector going to talk to Baron Vincent just because he's the best contact we have. Sorry, you cut out. What did you say?
The word that I've been looking for all night is back channel.
Yeah.
Old Spycraft term. Never mind. Sorry.
But and then I was gonna go. I was gonna go to talk with the Rat King with some other people because none of us really have a relationship with him, so it doesn't really matter who we send. And then we can also just later communicate the other stuff to the Shovelhead rumor to James and Goldman. And then we also need to talk to Valentino. So,
Okay, tell me what scenes you guys are setting up. Who's going where? What are you doing with Hopkins? Or are you just letting him go?
I don't have anything with Hopkins.
I mean, Hopkins, we might go talk to Prince James. You want to go with us and let him know what's going on, see what he thinks about the new situation?
Are you asking Hopkins?
Yes.
But
Yeah.
Hopkins kind of has his own, got to do his own thinking at the moment.
Well, yeah, but we're on that way, so, you know.
All right.
Yeah. Take,
I'm just asking.
take me to James. That
All right.
that's probably a good idea.
Well, let's go to.
Melissa,
Hey,
Walter,
now
we're
let's-
gonna go see Prince James.
I'm gonna split, and I'm gonna try to go with the Rat King. Anybody who wants to go with me to do that? Like maybe Milo, would you want to come with me?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Okay, cool. You're the person I trust most for this because I need somebody who can just like be good. To fight.
Be good.
Somebody who like will match them.
Okay. Who's taking Hopkins and the Malkavians to see James? I assume that Jessica is. Is anybody going
That would
with
make
her?
sense.
Or just Jessica?
Yeah. Well, since Craig asked, he'll go with him.
Okay.
If Craig's going, Brett's going.
Yep. And
Yeah.
then
Does Craig know where Prince James is?
Yeah, you guys your whole coterie knows how to get in contact with Prince James.
All right.
You're his primary guys. He doesn't have this whole big ass army like Goldman does. He doesn't have this whole big thing.
Well, I know he.
And,
Well, I know he
and
was
he
in
just
hiding
lost the
too, so I
Corridor
wasn't
clan,
sure.
so he has no clan. None of the clans are behind him in entirety. He only has individuals. Oh no, I take that back. He's got the Tremere clan. He's got the Tremere clan.
Huh.
He might have something else. But the Tremere were only able to, like, they owe him. He was able to create his clan because he let him. Oh, and also the Banu Hakim, Mila's sire and her sire's sire are also on James's side, and that gives him quite a bit of fear power that the
Right.
Assamites are on his side. In fact, Goldwyn's trying to use that as a propaganda. He's trying to make everybody else be afraid of James's Assamites. Trying to turn
Well, that's
fear
good to
into
know.
anger. Okay, what scene do we want to do?
I need to,
Not the
do I need to
Jessica
let
one. She's not
Vincent
here.
know?
Do you need to? You want to go do
Do I
Vincent?
need Vincent? Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, we can do Vincent.
Is that
first.
my? Wait, is that what I'm assigned? I mean, do I need to let him know that this shovelhead attack is imminent?
Yeah.
That
Well, not imminent, but
and the thing about
to be-
Rodrigo being back.
Okay. How do we know the Rodrigo being back thing again? Who told us that?
We were told by a reliable contact high up in the
Well, you want?
Camarilla hierarchy, right?
Yeah, you were told by the Prince of Mexico City.
Yeah, but
Fiorenza Savona, where Jack
Yeah.
was anyway.
That's right. But for them, you just need to say, a reliable, confidential source.
Was I there to hear her say that?
No,
The
it was
princess.
at Jack's house.
Okay, all right. So then
It
that's,
was at
that's something
Jack's
I can
house
truthfully say.
on like an old timey phone connected to a magic box inside of a briefcase that burned itself up.
Yeah. So I'll just say a reliable contact.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll do you first. So
Okay.
Hector arrives at Noche Vita, the new location of Noche Vita, because the old location is in Goldman's territory. That happened like, I don't know, it was like 10 years ago. But they kept the same name. So, to outside, it looked like, they had to change locations due to, like, leasing issues or something. I do not have an image for that, I don't think. Unless I have one left from last time. No. We could just use the Scarlet Song image. At least it looks like a bar. None of these people are here. Okay, Mike Bright's not here. You know what? Adriana is here. It's funny. Yeah, Adriana is here somewhere. You actually, you see her, like, talking with a bunch of guys. And she looks like herself again. She's, like, over in the corner of the table with a bunch of, like, soldier guys.
Sorry, just can you refresh my memory? I know she was Emily's lover, and when did she go with us during the rescue, or she was in the van, or
I think she stayed in the van. Didn't she stay in
and
the
that was the
van?
last time we saw her, right?
That was the last time you saw her, yeah. She's more
Okay.
Emily's
Before she was like,
character.
now she was at that time she was looked like Agent Kim, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So they recognize you, or you're on the list. I think that's what it. Yeah. So you come up on these big tough guys, and no, they don't have a list. This is just a fucking gentleman's club for anybody. You're in. We don't do very much Noche Vita. I've never really fleshed it out.
Well, I still if they're like if they're security, when I see him, I go, "Sup, dudes? Can I talk to Vincent?"
Yes, sir. Go right on up.
All right, so I head back over, I guess,
They
toward
looked
the
at
vehicle.
you for a couple of seconds. That was the pause. They looked you over, and then he said that. Like,
Okay.
either he recognized you yourself, or he recognized that you're, one of the people that can come up. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I give him a nod,
Okay.
and then walk towards the stairs.
Okay. Yep, and he is up on the balcony. They tried to design this as much as it looked like the old one, so he's up on the balcony, and you see him, and he sees you. And then he turns around and he gives some orders to people, and there's a little bit of running around on the second floor as you get up there.
Okay. There's nothing impeding my way up there, right? Like,
Nope.
There's not a velvet rope or anything
Well,
like that.
I mean, no, there's not. There was another guard, and he just nods his head at you.
Okay. And I'm gonna head back, and I shuffle up the stairs,
Okay.
trying to remain very observant as to what it is that Vincent's trying to hide,
Mhm.
but not trying to do it in a way that might piss him off, like,
Yeah. So let's see. Make
Like
me either a awareness check or an investigation check with wits. Or insight. If you're better at insight, you could use insight. You won't be looking for like
Yeah, I have-
physical cases of stuff. You'd be more reading people's faces. It's going to be wits no matter what you choose.
Okay. So my choice. All right. So my choices. So I have wits as the statistic.
Yep. And
And the
either
skill would be-
awareness, investigation, or insight.
Insight.
Whatever you're
Yeah,
better
and
at.
I have 3 in awareness, so I'm
I
going
think
with
that's
that.
probably it. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 in awareness and 2 in wits. So. And then no modifier, right?
Yeah, no modifier.
Oh no.
Oh, you got a fail with you got a bestial failure. Where are my cards with the
Yeah.
stupid things on them?
Oh man.
Things are about to get exciting.
What happened to those cards? That ain't it. There's one of them. Alright, found it. Compulsions. Let's pick a compulsion. Should we give you rebellion? That's the Bruja compulsion. Why don't we roll at random? Just roll one die.
Me?
Yeah.
10?
Yep.
10-sided? Okay.
Yep. Let's see. Where's compulsions in this book? Page 208.
Lucky number 7. It's got to be good, right?
I'm pretty sure I have this in my
The
DM
best
chart,
of a
but
bad
I
situation.
have never been able to use my DM screen channel because I was showing my face and it didn't work out. Now I could.
I
Okay,
think the
you
question
rolled
is,
what?
yes, it's lucky,
7?
but who?
Harm.
7.
Okay, that's harm. The vampire performs all actions not immediately resulting in someone or something getting harmed at a 2 dice penalty.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Did we lose somebody?
Jessica's here.
No.
Hey, we
Somebody
gained
finally made her
somebody.
way in. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah.
They were collectively deciding what Jessica said.
Oh. About what?
It was.
You kept Aaron from joining the Sabbat.
Oh, yeah.
My what?
Your
You
sire's
temporarily
ex-boss.
bought Aaron some time to think about whether he should rejoin the Sabbat. Okay, so yeah, Hector is under a harm. Since this was like a non-action roll. If you want to just take 1 willpower damage, I'll let you control it.
Control the. Control
Yeah,
the.
I'll let you ignore it if you take 1 willpower damage. Really?
No,
it
I
should
think
be
it.
2.
It'll be fun to role play. Like so,
Okay,
basically
cool.
everything I do is gonna be a -2 unless I start fighting.
Yeah, or well, it doesn't have to be physical harm,
Or break
but
stuff.
being Bruja, it's more
Okay,
likely
yeah,
to be
got it.
physical harm. That's more of a
So
Toreador
if-
thing where you satisfy that by making somebody feel like shit. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
I'll
so
just
you come
play
up
it.
here. And not Vincent, one of his guys. You met him. I think you know them all. I don't even have a name for him.
Probably.
He's just guy number 1. Let's give him a name. Think up some Hispanic name. Eduardo, yeah. Yeah, so you see Eduardo, he is a little bit older than you, but not real significantly. And he comes over. Hector! We're glad to see
What's up,
you here
Ed?
tonight.
How you doing, Ed? I got some news for the boss.
Yeah, come on. Come on, he's waiting for you.
All right.
And
Thank
he brings you over to Vincent.
Vincent, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing there, Hector? Well, let me pull up Vincent's picture. I have that, I think, at a really easy place to get to. Well, I thought I did. All right. Well, I'll try. I can still pull it off of that Kindred Factions page. Okay. What did you say? I'll try to talk to you while I do it.
I just said, I said, how you doing? He said, how you doing back? So I guess I'll respond with, well, I bring news that's not terrible, but it's not good. Well, one of them might be terrible. I got 2 things to tell you, basically. Let me start with the one that I know for sure. We have heard from a credible source that Rodrigo is still around. He's back in town.
Oh. Shit. Are you fucking serious?
Has a heart attack.
Oh man. I thought we were rid of that
So
bitch.
we did too. We were just as disappointed as you to hear about it. So I'm coming here to make sure I let you know, and let's start thinking about how we're gonna deal with this threat.
That's a bad fucking time, man. Oh shit. I'm gonna have to. We gotta go through all of our guys again. This whole fucking war.
You know that right now.
The last time we went to war with Goldman, he played us. The whole fucking thing was his plan.
What do you mean? Wait, is Hector aware of this? That whatever he's referencing?
Yes. And in fact, the the Ventru and Bruja spies got away. You guys made a attempt to kill them rolls during our 20-year passage, and nobody did.
I'm sorry. All right. So I'm at a loss for what he's talking about then. Well,
Okay, there was a
So I-
spy in both the Bruja and the Ventru. This was
and it was all coming from Bowman?
12 years ago. As we did the jump, then we went over it. There was a
Right.
spy in both the Bruja and the Ventru, and it wasn't like a low-level spy. It was like a high mid-level spy, and they influenced a war between the Bruja and the Ventru, and then eventually somehow that came out, and both of them were being hunted on a blood hunt, and nobody killed them, or at least nobody claims to have killed them. So both of those spies
we for
are
sure
alive.
know it was Goldman.
Yeah,
We know for sure it was Goldman that did that.
it
That
was
placed those spies?
Goldman was in charge of the Ventru, and Vincent was in charge of the Bruja. I can give you the names of the two spies. I don't remember them, but they're
Oh
on
no!
the,
So they each had spies on each other.
no. Rodrigo had spies on them.
Oh, okay. And then they instigated the war between
They
the two of them.
instigated the war.
Okay. So would I be correct in responding to Vincent? Well, if you remember, respectfully, that wasn't Goldman. That was Rodrigo that put you two at each other's necks.
Yeah. Damn, man. What if that shit's happening again?
That's why.
much-
That's one of my worries too. One of our worries at the spines.
I mean,
Is that these,
everything I've done has been my own. It's my own design, but fucking Rodrigo's always so far ahead. You never know if it's your design or his.
Something to think about, Vincent. I mean, you're the boss of your people and you're your own master, and but if I may humbly suggest this, us being at each other's throats right now, as at this, who's going to be the leader, is a perfect time for the Sabbat to come in and roll on all of us. And as you know, that's their kind of modus
That's the
operandi, right?
The
They
Sabbat
wait
are
till we
falling
fight,
apart.
and then they roll right in.
Yeah, the Sabbat aren't what they were even 20 years ago. They're falling all apart. They're losing all of Mexico left and right. They're falling apart, man.
Yeah, I don't. I would like to agree with you.
Most
I
of
don't
their
know
elders,
enough about.
most of their
I just know.
elders have been beckoned away. Let's see, they were Sarah Winters was the Ventru, and Thomas Fernandez was the Bruja spies. So those guys' names are on your radar if they ever come up.
You said Thomas Fernandez and Sarah.
Sarah Winters.
Winters, gotcha. So, I mean, all I'll say, Vincent, is sometimes when an animal seems like it's cornered and about to die, that's when it's at its most dangerous. And like I said, we've confirmed that Rodrigo's still around. We also have recently become aware of the presence of another Sabbat vampire in the area, and we need to get more concrete information before we report out. We want to be accurate.
Who's
But
this? Who's
there
this
is
new
Sabbat
pack
presence.
leader, you know?
That's what we're trying to lock down who it is.
Okay.
I got to get back to you on that. I'll get back to you soon when I have
Okay.
solid information.
Well,
But I don't want to. Again, I don't want to get ahead of myself and
to
report
see you guys
things.
are doing your job. I'm happy to
That's
see
what we're
that.
here for.
That's why we got to keep Goldman from taking this city. He's gonna rip your coterie apart. This whole togetherness of the Anarchs and the Camarilla crap that James put together. He's never gonna go for that. This whole war is about the Camarilla refusing to work with us, refusing to accept us. That's what this whole damn thing is about.
Listen, I'm not going to take a political position. It's not my job in the spines.
Yeah, I know.
But I will say, if we don't stick together, if we don't find some way to work with each other, I'm afraid that we are vulnerable to these Sabat assholes coming in here and ripping all of us apart. So all of this leadership struggle that we're having right now, this shit needs to come to some kind of end sometime soon, and maybe not in a decisive way, but even some way where we just all agree to some kind of truce while we bat back these assholes, because they're the bigger threat, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll discuss it. I think you might be right, and it's not only the fucking Sabat, but the goddamn lupines. What do you guys have any information on the lupines? Because lupine activity is just fucking crazy.
I will tell you this: that I have not personally directly witnessed. Right, Hector hasn't come across a lupine, right?
Not
That's
one you
another
weren't
character.
introduced to, and that was 20 years ago.
Right. I'm not even thinking of that guy. Because I'm thinking, remember when they were chasing us down the street when we rolled up on the house? The werewolf wasn't there, right?
You don't remember.
We were scanning that house when we were surveying, and they were on the couch.
They had some connections to Salazar's team, so sometimes they were around. So I don't remember it if in that particular.
Actually, I think in that case, I'm pretty sure they were. That's when I think the kid died on that day, or whatever it was. But the wolf was going to intercept us somewhere. I think that was the thing. But
yeah, the wolves were on their way.
No, so So what I'll say to Vincent is, I have not personally seen or witnessed the lupine head to head. However, members of my coterie have actually had eyes on them. We are aware that they are around, so there is a threat. We don't know the extent of the threat, of their presence, of what they want, but we're investigating that as well. And if I'm going to be frank with you, we're talking 5 kindred designed to protect this city, against Sabat, and then you throw in, these wolves. We really need everybody. We need all kindred united, all non-Sabat kindred united in this city.
Don't
to
think of
really
yourselves as
mount and
soldiers.
protect.
Don't think of yourselves as soldiers. Think of yourselves as spies. We can put together a team to handle it as soldiers. You guys are spies. You guys are supposed to be the information.
So yeah, and I guess what I'm saying is that
that you
we'd
guys
like
are
to
doing
keep
your
it that
job,
way.
so keep it up. Yeah, you be very careful. You be very
we're
fucking careful around the damn lupines. But you need to help us find out everything you can.
Absolutely. All I'm saying is that we're busting our ass to make sure we get you the right information, but our fear is that we bring this information back and everybody else in the city is so worried about the power struggle as to who's going to lead us that the outsiders come in and crush us because nobody's willing to work together.
Well, I'll tell you this. You got soldiers in the Bruja. If you find a target for us that is in my territory, we'll be there to back you up. Unless your plan sounds fucking stupid and I think we're all going to die. Then we ain't going.
I really appreciate that, Vincent. All I'm saying is that it may take like Bruja working with Ventru, working with
we're gonna have
all
to
these
work
other
on
clans.
that. Maybe. I mean, you guys are the
I
connection to
appreciate
make that shit happen, but Goldman is not James. Working with Goldman isn't going to be a thing. He wants us gone.
Right. Your point is well taken, and if you think that maybe our problem is to try to put together some kind of truce or some kind of idea for how we move forward until these other threats are eliminated, then maybe I can bring something back to you if you're willing to hear it.
Yep, I'm willing to hear it if you get something to put together, and I'll work on something too. Maybe I'll go meet with Goldman. Maybe I'll try to meet with Goldman tonight.
Really appreciate it, and like you as you just referenced, if there's a big trust issue, it seems like there's a big trust issue between you two. Maybe maybe a solution is to at least temporarily keep James in power, keep the status quo going, so that we can all fight this, these groups, these outside groups together, and then figure out how to move.
The Camarilla doesn't want James in power. That's why they sent that Archon here.
Yeah, I'm
She,
getting that.
she did everything she could to depose him, and then she placed Goldman in his stead. And yeah.
Does Hector know exactly what he's talking about here? I just want to make sure that
No,
there's
not
not
really.
something that Hector would go.
No.
Okay, and then so I'll make it like
I mean, there
almost
are
like a little bit of a
rumors about
surprise
that,
look.
and other kindred talk about it, but no, you are not in the political circles of the goings on, like so much to the point where you almost don't even give a shit.
Still, if he's gonna serve that up, I think Hector will make kind of like a raise an eyebrow at it and say, I'm not really privy to these political moves or how any of that happened, but if you want to enlighten me on this one, I'm interested.
All right, I might give what the hell did we name that guy? Whatever we name that guy, give him your number, and if I can set up something with
Eduardo.
Goldman tonight, Eduardo, give Eduardo your number, and if I could set up something tonight, we'll give you a call. You can come in too. Maybe we can bring in your whole group to not on my side. That wouldn't be cool, and plus I don't think you guys want to do that. But you guys can come in to help ensure that this is a safe meeting. That might make Goldman feel. I ain't scared of him. He's scared of me, so that might make him feel more safe.
I appreciate that, Vincent. You're being very reasonable. Yeah. And by the way, again, if you don't want to tell me now about that, the Archon doing everything she could to depose James and all that stuff, then don't tell me. But if you do want to tell me,
it's kind of hearsay to me. I left the Camarilla.
Okay.
I wasn't there in the courtroom. I wasn't part of James's court anymore. I left the Camarilla about the same time you were made.
Okay.
So.
All right, I'll respect that. One more thing, and this is important. However, I gotta preface it by saying we do not have solid information on this. At this point, it is a rumor, and I can't. I don't want to put it out there with more than that. Just more than just a kind of a bolo, right? Be on the lookout for. There may be a shovelhead attack imminent in the city.
Shovelhead attack, imminent possibility. But yeah, I mean, if you're hearing about it, then I'll put some men on. We'll start looking out a little bit more. We'll raise the threat level.
I appreciate that too.
But there's always some kind of threat of that. There's always been. But yeah, if you're hearing rumor of it, then we can be a little more prepared. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, we're hearing we heard a rumor that it is being planned and imminent. Like we look out for it within the next few nights, week. That kind of thing.
This is from that new contact you don't want to tell me about.
Right. I just don't feel comfortable telling you about yet because we have to solidify who, the identity, make sure we're right about it.
I'm glad to see you guys are starting to act a little bit more like spies and less like soldiers. That's how you get shit done. Don't be afraid to become the soldier, though. We're fucking Bruja. We soldier that shit. But you also
I won't back down from a fight, sir.
The importance of the intelligence behind it. You don't want to get yourself stuck in a fight that you didn't know shit about.
Absolutely. I like to win the fights I do get into.
Yeah. All right then. Anything
All
else?
right, if you have nothing else for me, I'm gonna head back out, try to keep the information flowing. Sounds good. Please let me know. I'll drop my number to Eduardo right now.
Okay.
Let me know if you need me back here. I'll hustle back here. If you want us at that meeting tonight, we'll be there.
Well, I don't know if we'll have it tonight. I'll go try. He's probably gonna postpone it by a night or two just for some fucking Ventru politics of look how powerful I am. I gotta make you wait for me. All this fucking Ventru nonsense bullshit. But I guarantee you he's gonna do that. So don't expect a call tonight, but I'm gonna try.
Okay. I hope he doesn't pull that shit. That's such bullshit.
Yep. I hate those fuckers.
All right. Thank you very much for hearing me out, and let's keep in touch. I'll put my hand out.
Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Come by the club.
I put my hand out to shake him.
We like having you around. He shakes your hand.
I appreciate it. Okay. I appreciate it. All right, now hustle out.
Okay.
Give my number to Eduardo on the
How
way out,
much
though.
in a hurry do you see him on your way out?
How much? Like not like in a hurry to flee the club, but like I got shit to do because
Okay.
we just talked about doing shit, and I'm
Okay, so
smartly moving to
you
accomplish a
seem
mission.
like you're leaving with purpose. There's no lingering at all.
Right.
Okay, then they don't
But I
approach
did
you
stop to
offer
give
you a
my cell
girl.
phone to it.
Well, that
What's
was
that?
they don't stop to offer you a girl then.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Hector's not worried about that right now.
Yeah.
But he does stop to give his cell phone number to Eduardo.
Oh yeah, that was right up there. That was within,
Okay.
10 feet of
Okay.
Vincent. All right, your scene's over. Who's next?
I think it should be me and Milo with the Rat King next because I feel like it'll probably the one
Okay.
with James and Janine and Krieg will probably be the
Okay. What
one
do
that
I
makes the most
have
sense
that
for
would
the
work
last scene.
as a meeting with the Rat King?
Mhm.
Train yard or cemetery? You pick.
But do we get to pick?
Right, because I don't know where he would meet you.
I thought he was a sewer boy.
He is a sewer boy. He don't want you in his domain. He don't want you to know where his haven is.
Then I imagine a train yard would be a natural area to make it have a connection to it and meet
Okay.
someone there.
Where did my train yard go?
Graveyard feels a little less natural for there to be
Yeah.
like a sewer line connection to.
Well, he's not. I'm pretty.
What the-
He probably has obfuscate, so it wouldn't be like he needs a connection.
All right, none of these guys are here.
Okay, I was about to say like the one that you labeled like WTF. I'm like that is my reaction. Like who is
That
this man?
was Dragos. When they first met Dragos, he was dressed as the Joker from the movie. He said that someone, because
You
he
missed a
goes
lot.
by the nickname Joker, and someone showed him the movie. So he was dressed like that.
And then he was like, I'm digging it.
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
while you're setting up, I guess just talk to Mal for a little bit. Just like,
Mhm.
okay, let's just remember.
Yeah, you guys ran a message through Spider, and then he said that he would meet you here.
But just Spider or Rat King?
No, Spider is your intermediate.
Okay. Right then never mind. I'm not gonna
He
say
said
anything.
that
I
the
was gonna
Rat
say
King is.
stuff like,
Yeah, he's Spider set the meeting up with the Rat King.
oh, okay. I was just gonna be like, remember, they're very sensitive about their appearance sometimes, so better to just not make it anything about that, even if who knows what they're going on. I know when they get more powerful, stuff happens.
Got it.
And mainly, I'm assuming, I'll try to do most of the talking, but keep your wits about. I can't read the Rat King, and if you feel like there's some danger, just give me just a little signal of some kind, maybe a specific hand gesture or something.
Okay.
Oh, that I did say this is the image we're gonna use for the Rat King. Okay then. I was like, how come I just have a picture of a fucking rat? All right then.
He's like, I have achieved my ultimate Nosferatu form, a small rat.
Weak.
His rat
It's like,
form is
the
actually
more
a
he-
pretty fucking big rat, but it's still a rat. It's not like a man-sized rat. That's his normal.
It's like the more rat-like he gets, like the more he gets to like the exact size of a rat. So it's smaller.
So we are just using a rat image for him.
Okay.
There is an image in my pictures channel of what he looked like when he was a person, so you could combine them in your head. Or we also have the old image in there, but I can't put the old image in a YouTube video.
That's just too cute, though. We need a more menacing rat.
I looked. This was the only one where his face was looking at the camera.
Okay.
Okay.
So to see,
We got homework to do before next session. Then.
You start seeing a bunch of rats.
Use pizza
first.
rat.
You start seeing a bunch of
Right,
rats
so-
first, so you know he's here or he's coming. When rats aren't even a common sight in El Paso, we have mice. We don't have very many rats. And then, and you start seeing a bunch of rats just skittering around, running between your legs.
Rat, are you here?
And then he steps out from between two train cars. Let me try and recapture the Rat King's voice. It's been like a year.
Well
Might have
hidden
been
as
longer
usual.
than a year. Jack Lavington. My love. What is it you need from the Rat King?
We're here to deliver a message on behalf of the Spines of the Cactus, Rat King.
My
It is
prince.
of
Call me
great importance.
my prince.
I'll hope you understand that at this current time, to maintain our neutrality between all sides, we are not using titles of claimed positions, if you understand.
Very well. My personal faction is not supplying very much to your coterie anyway. So I agree.
But,
What
we have
information do you have to
unfortunate
share with
news.
the Nosferatu that you think we do not already have? We are the Camaria's information.
Alright. I will prepare myself to try to watch to gauge his reaction and say, we have received reliable information from a confidential source that is verified that Rodrigo is still in El Paso.
Okay, let me roll a composure and subterfuge roll to see how well he hides his disguise. Let's see, composure is probably 3, so we'll roll this many.
Two successes.
Yep, 2 successes. So he go ahead and roll a wits and insight.
Insight.
If you have more than 4 dice in that, then you don't need to roll.
I have 4 in insight and
Yeah, both of you guys did fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he is
And-
he's trying to not act surprised, especially following his statement that you guys don't know anything he knows. But yeah, he is are you sure? He can't even his poker face is already falling apart.
I keep my face straight, try not to like crack a grin when he does that. Yes,
Where does this
as much
information
as
come
we
from?
wish it wasn't. We are keeping the source of information confidential.
Very good. Very good.
But you will be pleased to know that none of the different factions know who it is, so you are not out of the loop in that regard.
Yes. I like that. I like that. Good, good, good.
Okay, but this news is being relayed to all of the different factions
Okay.
at this very moment. We also have received unconfirmed reports from a source whose reliability we cannot vouch for, that in connection to this, there is a mass embrace being conducted by the Sabbat to create an army of shovelheads that will soon descend on El Paso. I will stress that this is unconfirmed.
Unconfirmed
So we do
sources
not
are
know the
often
validity
the
of this.
best. often the best. They often have the information that they share because they're not supposed to be sharing it. Yes, yes.
But,
Well,
regardless, the fact of these two pieces of information coming together in conjunction with the current division of the
Brother Hero
Camarilla
does love
and
his
Anarchy
shovel
groups,
heads. Always has. Always has.
because of the divisions, we believe that this is likely all true.
Okay.
So what we are hoping is that you will help facilitate a at least truce between the different factions and a ideally unification of the different factions at the very least in this current moment to protect from outside dangers.
Yes. Yes. Unless this is a ploy of Prince James to bring us back together.
This
And
is
now he seems
of
to be
this,
studying your face. He's
and
going to
I
have
say,
like 3 insight and 4 wits. So he's going to roll 7.
um,
30 plus
4.
19. 1, 2, 3, 4. And how many did you get? Oh, you didn't. Yours is gonna.
What am I contesting?
It's kind of the lack of subterfuge, so it's subterfuge. It's charisma and subterfuge.
Charisma subterfuge. I think it's gonna go 2.
Yeah, that's fine.
I
So
don't.
he's able to read you.
Yeah.
That you kind of
Um,
wanted him to read you anyway.
Yeah. So my response to that, this is of the Spines of the Cactus own initiative.
Okay.
Duty is
Okay.
to protect the city from outside forces. And
Yes.
in conjunction with our duty, it is beneficial to our role that all sides get along. We are not an internal force, as you know, we are an external force. So
Yes.
all Camarilla and Anarchs being united against a common enemy is what we want the most,
That's the
independent
dream.
of
That's
any
the
of the
dream,
different
isn't it?
leaders.
To be factionless, to have your clan be the most important thing. But that is not the case. You will find that Goldman and James do not get along. You will find that Goldman and Vincent do not get along. You will find that Vincent and James barely get along. Yes. Vote the rat king.
We
But anyway, that's the Nosferatu will be watching. Yes. We'll be watching,
okay.
looking for any sign of
Uh,
this. Yes. Leave your information. Well, I guess Spider has a way to contact you. Yes.
yes.
Okay.
So please get back in touch with us if you have any updates on information so that it can be distributed to the others
Yes.
so that we can protect all of us from any dangers. And
Sabath is dangerous.
if possible,
They reveal us.
uh,
They reveal us to the humans. Can't have that.
we will make sure that we use the right methods to make sure that all communications are safe. Obviously, no usage of technologies.
Yes. Stupid Inquisition. Bad time. Everything coming
Yes.
apart at the same time. It's all James's fault.
Uh, Regardless, we appreciate your time that you took to meet with us, and we hope that, regardless of the outcomes of the current situation, that a lasting peace will be able to be facilitated with your cooperation. Have a good day, Rat King. I give a little bow.
Have a good day. You too, Milo.
Alright, good day.
Yeah, Milo didn't
And
talk
then I
much.
just, yeah, and then as I turn around, I just look at Miles like, what's he have against me? Just as we walk away. He never acknowledged me. He talked to me, but then he just like, hey, Mila, bye, Mila.
Mhm.
I knew he'd
Okay.
respect her over me, though.
It's the Asomite. They're scary. All right. Well, you guys finished talking to one of the two best fighters in the city.
Yep.
Who's the other one?
Enriquez,
Ah,
though he's not Camarilla anymore either. So you just finished talking to the best fighter in the Camarilla.
oh,
What isn't Enrique's independent Bruja?
He is Anarch Bruja, but not with Vincent, because he hates Vincent's guts more than Goldman does.
Oh, is he Valentina?
Yes.
Anarch.
Yeah, but he's... I mean, calling him an independent Anarch is almost just about right, because he is officially in Valentina's camp, but he doesn't spend very much time talking with them. He's kind of a loser loner guy. Somewhere feeding on people in the camps, probably. Where they separate the kids from their parents. Okay. Who's next?
Craig and I guess Jessica.
Craig and Jessica are bringing the other Malkavians to meet with Prince James, and then we'll be done for the night after that scene.
Okay.
Let's change our thing from the train yard to James's house. I wonder if I set up music for James's house. Don't sound like it. It's James's house, and there's a party going on. It's loud, and there's probably 100 people here. Most of them between the age of 18 and 25. Prince James meets you outside.
Do we? Oh, okay. Prince James.
And he opens his arms to you and invites you. He still meets you outside, though. He doesn't bring you in the house. There's a party going on.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you. Good to see you. And then he notices Aaron. Let me drag those pictures over here. And back. It's so nice to be able to do this. That green screen filter was really...
So no more green screen.
No. I'm not going back to that. Not on this computer. When I'm rich, maybe. Dr. Walter Triton. Melissa. Oops. Yeah, whatever. That's good. Okay. And then he sees
Has
Hopkins,
Melissa
and his
or Walter
smile,
up-
his smile kind of just rolls right off his face. Okay, what did you ask?
All right, so has James met the underlings of, Melissa or Walter?
Probably not.
Okay.
Not that you're aware of. I mean, James didn't give the order for them to be created. They weren't supposed to be created. He had to go and join the Anarchs in order for them to be created. He told Hopkins he didn't want any more Malkavians in the city. Hopkins did not have the prince's right to create, but he did it in Baron Vincent's territory. So. Hopkins, James says. And Aaron bows. He actually bows quite deep. In fact, I'm going to make an etiquette roll. What do we do? Charisma and etiquette? That's going to be like a fucking 3-dice pool. Yeah, he kind of messed it up a little bit.
One success.
Yeah. Not enough to impress a Toreador prince. Yeah. Not at all. But he did try. Maybe he gets some points for that. Melissa and Walter actually both kneel Well, I mean, Walter does first, and then Melissa's like, "Oh, we're supposed to kneel," and then she kneels, and then Hopkins feels like an idiot because all he did was bow. Then he kneels too.
Do I feel like an idiot for not kneeling?
Or we're
No,
supposed to be
no,
neutral, right? At least
you
right
have a
now.
little bit more of a personal connection to James, especially in the last few months where he's struggling to maintain his domain, and especially being prince of the city, and everyone seems to be leaving him but you guys. So no, you guys have become pretty close to him. But anytime that you feel you should act official, then you should act official. But that should be
Oh,
represented
one.
by your own skill in etiquette. If you don't have much skill in etiquette, then you don't even realize when you're supposed to act official.
I'll have to work on that.
Okay.
Okay,
are
so
And he looks at Jessica. So it looks like you were able to get him away from Vincent. Good job. He says, kind of
yes,
like with an exclamation point question mark on it.
yeah, that wasn't fun, but we did it. He's
How
free
bad
to
did it
make his
go?
own choices again. It was rough. I had to be restrained all night, and
What? Wait,
I look
wait.
like an idiot.
What are you talking about? What happened? And he looks.
Papa here was blood bound to Vincent.
Oh, I didn't think the Anarchs even did that. And Hopkins says, Vincent doesn't blood bond many people, but you know, Malkavian. Yeah, and Prince James just nods his head. Yeah, I guess I can understand that. You had to keep the crazies under control, right? So
Yeah,
you were
but
able to break his blood bond.
yes, sir.
I didn't know that was something you could do. I've never even
That's
heard of
something
that
I
before.
learned recently.
I've, I haven't even heard of that being possible, except for with the Sabbat have a ritual that can break our blood bonds.
Have you heard of Asanta Senna?
No, who's that?
It was her gift, and apparently that's part of my line, and I was able to receive that.
She's the progenitor of our bloodline, Hopkins says. The what what's the there's a term for it. Like I'll find it real quick because he wants to use that term. The label on the first power. The agent of chaos. That's how he refers to her. The agent of chaos. Yeah, I haven't heard of her. Must be European. And yeah. Well, she's old. So yeah. Okay, well. Good job, Miss Jessica.
I really feel you should probably meet Melissa here.
Melissa. And he comes down. And she stands up on her feet. Hi! And he holds out his hand to her in the kiss the ring motion. And she looks at Aaron, and then she looks at Jessica like she's wondering what she's supposed to do.
I kind of pick up my own hand and kiss back with my hand like I was kissing my own ring if it was the same thing. And I
Okay.
point.
She takes his hand and kisses the ring. And she says, I'm Melissa. Hi. And he just smiles at her, kind of taken in by the innocence. And says, hello. I'm Prince James. And then he looks at Aaron and he says, I've heard that you continued your bloodline. And he says that There was the trade-off for Baron Vincent's, for aiding Baron Vincent in joining the Anarchs. He
So something.
allowed me to continue my line.
Melissa has a bit of a talent, Prince.
I can paint! And he looks back at her. Well, can you now? Why don't you show Prince James what you can paint? And she pulls the painting out of her pocket that's half crumpled up, and she opens it up. And it's a painting of the Joker. And he says, oh, you like clowns? And she says, no, it's the Joker. And he says, so this clown is funny?
Baron's vampire.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
She painted this before we even saw him. And this is exactly how he looked when he came out of the shadows and greeted us.
Oh, that's interesting.
But he's in town because apparently Rodrigo is alive. So, yeah.
Yeah, you guys
And
told
to
me
me, that
already
doesn't sound good.
that Fiorenza Savona has warned us that Rodrigo's still here. So,
Yeah.
I've still not seen any evidence of that, but we're still looking for it. But if Hopkins' master is here, this is the master you told me about. And Aaron nods his head. Yeah. The one you escaped from when you went to sleep. Yeah. Well, what are you going to do? And Aaron looks up at him, looks at Prince James in his eyes, and says, if you don't accept me in the Camarilla, I think I might go back. Because I'm not going back to Baron Vincent. Well, then we have some issues to discuss, don't we? What about your other child, Aaron? Who's this young gentleman with his face in the book? And Walter closes the book on his finger so that he could go back to it later. And looks up. Dr. Walter Triton, pleased to meet you, sir. And he holds out his hand to accept Prince James's hand, and then he bends down and kisses it in the same manner. Very young you both are, yes? How old are they, Hopkins? About 3? Okay. Well, I can offer you the same deal that Baron Vincent did. You're not someone I can trust offhandedly. You need to be bound. If you need to have that level of freedom, go back to the spot. But there's a place for you here. You follow the Camarilla's rules. What's it going to be? And he looks over at Jessica. Like, what should I do?
I put my finger up real quick. I'm going to pull Melissa aside and say, hey,
Hi.
You got a sketchbook with you?
Have what?
You got a sketchbook with you?
Yes?
Okay. I want you to think about what it would be like if he listened to Prince James and draw me a picture.
Okay.
Can you do that for me?
Okay. And she draws
And
a
then,
picture.
okay,
She starts drawing.
I'll let her finish.
She draws a pretty good portrait of Aaron Hopkins. And then she draws behind him and to the right a picture of herself in a suit. And then she draws a black silhouette of a picture behind and to the left of him to represent Dr. Walter's absence. And Prince James is watching this, and Aaron's watching this. And
Okay.
Triton's watching.
Now, draw me another picture.
Okay.
Draw me what would happen.
She hands
if
that picture
he-
to Prince James. Like she's proud of it, and she wants him to have it. You have. Okay. Draw a picture of what?
Okay, draw a picture now if he didn't take James up on his offer.
Okay. She draws a front and center image of Dr. Walter Triton in a black suit with a hat, like a cowboy hat. Dark eyes, fangs. And then she draws a whole bunch of people you don't recognize standing behind Triton. Oh, I was supposed to draw Aaron, right? Oh,
What's going to happen to Aaron?
she thinks about it. Her eyes kind of glaze over. Oh. And she just draws a pile of ash and sand on the ground.
So I
And then she looks
Look.
at Triton, at Dr. Walter. And she kind of shakes her head. How could you do that? And he's, what are you talking about?
okay.
And then she
Let's
looks up,
stop.
she hands the paper to Prince James and sees him and then smiles. I like to draw. And
Does
Prince
Aaron
James
get to
takes
see
it
these
and
pictures
he
yet?
says, yes you do. Does what? Oh yeah,
Has Aaron seen these
Aaron's
pictures
standing
yet?
here, right? He watched the drawing happen. All of you did. Aaron is looking at
Okay.
Dr. Walter now. So I'm going to lose you either way, aren't I? And Dr. Walter says, I don't know. Her drawings don't always come to pass as perfectly accurate as she draws them. What have you seen? And Hopkins says, I haven't seen anything. I haven't looked into the future for either. I don't want to know. I want to train you the best I can. Give you the freedom to end up whatever road you walk.
At this point, I look at Aaron and I said, it's in your best interest to take James up on his offer.
And he looks at James, and James looks at him. And Aaron nods his head, and James nods his head. And then James opens his wrist and just hands out his arm. And Hopkins takes a drink. Just a little. And then James licks the wound closed. Welcome to the Camarilla. Primogen Aaron of the Malkavian clan. And that's where we'll close it. Okay. Anybody have
Nobody
anything
died.
to say? Nobody died. How about that? You guys didn't fuck with Dragos.
I thought one of us was gonna make a move for her. I'm like, should one of us make a move?
He's not very
Well-
physically impressive. You guys might have been able to kill him without having anything happen. But, you know,
Well, with
He
as much
does-
work as you
he
put into
does
him,
roll
he's got to
12
be really,
dice
really
at making you
dangerous.
do stuff he wants you to do. So,
Well, as I kind of pointed out, to Bright, this was like, the Christmas at the trenches in World War II. You're here not trying to be aggressive. I'm not going to be aggressive.
I do have to say, Melissa's very useful.
Yeah, it would be nice if you had the artistic ability to be able to share your visions with you. Just tell them, and then they have, this is a way for her to share her images with someone else. Plus, she seems
and not
very
only
good at
did
it.
this come across like that whole thing with Dragos, again, what kept Hector from doing anything was I walked in, out of breaking the fourth wall. I came in late. So I didn't really want to, if none of my other teammates are kicking anything off, I'm not just going to attack them. But also, it did feel more like a parlay situation, like what Wonder was describing. So I was thinking we might get more out of this. Just I don't know. I felt like Dragos was treating the Sabat invasion as less of a war thing and more of a picking sides. It almost felt like more political maneuvering.
Yeah.
So, and it was also important to not drive a wedge between him and his fellow, because he is the sire. Direct conflict, I don't think would have helped us politically in winning over Aaron.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, anyone else have anything you want to say or talk about? Or
I didn't even
information
think-
that you want to gather from any of the people that you talked about that we could bring up? Any of the people that you guys talked with?
It seems
So
like we're
what's with
really
the party?
sliding by with the skin of our teeth.
It seems like what?
What's with
We're
the
really-
party?
Oh. It's just
Party?
Yeah.
fancy rich bachelor. I have a lot of parties.
It's just more of a status thing.
Well, I mean,
'Cause
it's
he's
also a hunting thing. I mean, there are plenty inside if you can find your taste.
Oh, okay.
But it's also a status and fun thing. I am kind of bored, yes. I used to have a hotel.
Got it.
I mean, I could do what most people, what most of my clan do, and go make a nightclub somewhere, but that sounds so boring.
You mean cliche?
Yeah, it sounds so cliche. Just no, that's just no. We'll let Cynthia do that. That's not for me. I have a rose garden out back. You guys want to visit it anytime you like. It's really nice. It's not quite as nice as the municipal garden, but I have a little more control and artistic development here than I do there. Anyway, if you guys talk with him, he likes to talk about his new house a lot. So anyone else want to get information gathered from any of the, any of the people that you talk to?
Oh, I mean, I don't, Because Craig was supposed to tell him that there's werewolves, like just to let him know too that they were recently attacked. So like double the guard and.
Okay. See, yeah. So you tell Prince James about your attack. Go ahead and tell him. Let's do that. Let's do that directly. That's a little bit more important.
Prince James. So, as you know, we were on a stakeout, and wait, are we near a car? Like, are we near Bright's the car that we rode with?
No,
the
you guys
claw
took
marks?
Jessica's car. Bright's car is in
okay.
the shop having that shit fixed.
Oh, okay. So we did learn a few things. There was werewolves hanging around at the park. Which park was it again?
I don't know. I'm sure I did.
Well, we were at a park and a stakeout, and
That was
yeah,
like a
there
month
were
ago.
some werewolves. That was a month ago,
I
or
think it
like
was
in
more than a
game
month
time?
ago. No, in game time it was yesterday.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yesterday we were attacked with werewolves, so they are hanging around at the parks, and we does not calm them down.
Wow, you do not have a good track record with Blue Pines, do you?
No, not at all. Unlucky, I guess.
Spend more time with Valentina. She can start teaching you their symbology. I mean,
I
if
think
this is
that's a
gonna be
wise
if this is
decision.
gonna be a thing with you, I mean, there's fate and there's luck, and it looks like your shit's gonna be werewolves. So, yeah, learn everything you can from her.
That's good advice. I appreciate it. Oh, did we tell him about the shovel hits?
Just says park. No, I don't think you guys did. You came
Oh,
with Aaron Hopkins' problem.
Yeah. One other thing we did hear from, well,
An
you know,
unreliable source.
a reliable source that
Unreliable.
the Sabbat are planning something, and it may or may not have to do with shovel hits, but it was from a Sabbat reliable source as far as the Sabbat goes.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's always a threat, but if we have a little bit more, it won't be as much of a surprise now. We're gonna have to talk with the others. I'm gonna have to talk with the others. I can't defend the city with the little bit of people I have right now. And Cynthia's gone. She went and joined with Goldman. So right now the only clans under my control are the Banu Hakim and the Tremere. Two clans that do not like each other at all.
Well, the Malkavians too.
Oh yeah, that's right. We have the Malkavians now.
Get down.
Yeah. Yay. That's total yay. Alright. That's not the terms he uses. He uses like something from 1820, but that's basically the point he gets across. That's total yay. Okay. So yeah, he seems you know, his brain is turning. Like, how am I going to try and make peace with these guys so that we can defend the city? Or have to defend at least my territory on my own, but with clans that fucking hate each other's guts because one clan ate the other clan's leader.
Kindred history is pretty interesting. I need to start. It's like I need to sit down and actually learn some of this stuff.
I still don't have it all straight. It's okay.
Okay, anyone else? Serious Jess, is there anything that you thought of that you wish you had talked to Vincent or any of the Bruja guys about?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anything else? What's you guys' next step?
Nothing I can think of.
What's you guys' next step, or do you want me to keep throwing you into situations you have to react to?
I want to see if I can't try to get a feel for where the shovel heads are going to be coming from.
Okay.
To see if we can't try to head off the shovel heads.
Okay.
Craig wants to
From
go
my
back
end,
to
I
the
want to make
park and
sure
to see if he can
I
find any.
Go ahead, Serious Just. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying I want to make sure the rest of the group, I keep them aware that Vincent actually has seemed somewhat reasonable about the need to maybe maintain the status quo and call a temporary truce.
Mm-hmm.
And this distrust between him and Goldman can maybe be used to once again throw everybody behind James for the time being so we can unite against the Sabbat and the werewolves.
Okay.
So maybe this is something that we can all now try to negotiate a potential, um, draft truce for everybody to agree to.
Mm-hmm.
We also need to consider, though, what the Camarilla is going to do to subvert whatever we set up. Because if they want him out, then even if we get all the barons on board or whatever to once again temporarily support James, I don't know if the result is the Camarilla goes, oh well, he's got everybody in the city in line now, so we'll back off, or if they then try to subvert it.
Try
somehow.
harder, yeah. Maybe show up with somebody who is old, and will just pull the clans together because they're afraid of him. They can always do that.
But I guess what I would pose to the group is, in terms of being proactive, I think we've got a proactive situation and a reactive situation. And proactive, I think maybe we try to broker the truce ourselves and set the terms, and then go and convince every one of the people currently trying to vie to take over to maybe take a step back and agree that for now we leave James in power, and then readdress after the war, after the Sabbat incursion or whatever. And then in the meantime, just be ready, because if Vincent and Goldman need us to show up at their meeting, that could actually help what we're trying to put together.
Well, if they're going to sit there and balk and say, I don't want to give up power, I don't want to give up power, we could probably get them to agree to a council for now.
Mm-hmm.
Another good idea.
This sounds like something we could actually open with a discussion with, which would be the next night. You guys can all meet and talk about this amongst yourselves, and that's how we'll open. And then maybe I'll throw at you a meeting with Goldman and Vincent as well. Or something else I come up with might be nastier. Okay. Everybody gets an experience. Oh my god. I don't need to give one to Bright because he's already like 5 times more experienced than all of you.
Yeah, that happens when you're, as old as I am.
I was thinking I probably need to go ahead and, because if I have 0 etiquette, I just only have to spend 1 to get 1 etiquette,
No,
right?
you have to spend 3.
Oh.
The first one costs 3.
But the other thing I wanted to get was cost 15, right?
I don't know. What was that?
It was. I'll have to tell you later.
Okay.
But yeah, we were talking about it because I wanted the 4th one in my I think it was in my Auspex tree, but I didn't have a 3rd one yet, so I needed
the 3rd one will cost you 15, right?
Yeah.
No, 10. The 3rd one costs you 10. 5 times current level, which is 2. Is it? No, wait. 5 times new level. Never mind. It's 5 times new level.
Yeah, because you told me it was 15.
Yeah, it's 15, and then the next one will be 20. Yeah, I was stupid for a second. That's also why it's it's times new level that buying the first point of a skill is 3.
Okay. So yeah, I'll get that first, and then I'll get after the next one. I'll have enough to get the etiquette.
Okay, sounds good.
Did
you have 15
trait
right
times 5?
Yeah, the attributes on top, the traits, those 9, they are times 5.
Yes. Yeah, times 5. Okay.
Okay, so Jessica is trying to learn. How much experience do you have?
I have 17 now with 17.
Okay, with that extra 1.
Yeah.
And what was it you're trying to learn?
Let me
Auspex
pull up
3?
the pin. Yeah, there was 2 options in there. Let me find it.
Okay,
Oh, what did I do
Auspex
with
3 are scry the soul and share the senses.
I was going for Scry the Soul.
Okay. Let's see. Who do you need to feed on for that? I took notes of all this shit somewhere. I don't know where it went. So that I wouldn't have to look it up. Oh well. Let's find resonances real quick. It's not too far from here. Okay. Sure. Auspex resonances are phlegmatic, which is
Phlegmatic.
lazy, apathetic, calm, controlling, sentimental people. So you need to eat some of them for a while. That's not your usual hunting. So we need to at least have you have a scene where you feed
Well,
on
the
one of them.
other, because it was phlegmatic. I can't talk today. Because I thought it was, it wasn't really outside of my, my wheelhouse though. Because
I
how
mean,
much, what page is,
if you
the,
feed from people that you head shrink, it certainly isn't. But no, your usual hunting style is against bravado males. And that's the opposite
yeah,
of
but
phlegmatic.
sometimes they can have, well, it depends on what they're doing or why,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
but you need it needs to be a deep level of phlegmatic, and you need to be feeding on it like that as your basic food for like a month.
All right.
So if we role play that out a little bit, and then you'll be able to buy it. If you want to buy your first point of etiquette, I'll let you do that right now. And then
No,
you'll
I
have
kind of want to do this. I kind of want to get this first because etiquette's gonna bite my butt if I don't get it eventually. But
okay. Just you already you already have the points to buy both, or you will with one more session because
yeah,
you're at
exactly.
17. So if you want to buy etiquette now, I'll let you do that. But we need to role play something before you get
Okay.
the discipline. Disciplines are not as easy to buy, and really, skills and attributes, even them, it needs to be. You need to have gone through a situation like this one right here where you were like, I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do. So there you go. Level 1 etiquette. Oh shit, I'm supposed to like know stuff? Yeah.
All right. Level 1 etiquette. Take away 3 on the XP.
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Woo. Down to 14.
Yeah. So
Gosh.
if we find the
All
situation
right, and then
where
that way
you
we can plan.
then you'll be able to do it at the end of next session if we find the correct scene to show that you've been feeding off of phlegmatics. That you've been actively hunting to improve your auspex. That you are doing it on purpose to improve your auspex.
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else? We all good?
A question about technique. Rules wise. So I let's say I want to like advance to level 4 in celerity. Like let's say my aim is to get to one of the level 5 powers. Like let's say in
Okay.
celerity, right?
Uh-huh.
And I don't like either of the powers at number 4 level.
Yeah,
Do I? Can I?
you can take one of
Oh,
the
go ahead.
level 1, 2, or 3 powers that you didn't learn.
Oh, and then my next one can be at 5. That puts me at level 4 of celerity.
Yep. See, you're purchasing level 4 celerity and getting a new power, and that new power can be up to the level that your celerity is.
Oh, okay. So it would
So
still cost me 4 times 5. So it still cost me
yes.
20, but then I could take a level 1, which would have cost me like 3 back in the day.
Right. Yeah. So you can fill that slot with a tiny ass little level 1 because you didn't like any of the other ones. Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
But it
That's
still
the-
costs
To
21.
raise celerity, you want to be eating on choleric people, which are the angry, violent, bullying, passionate, envious people. Those are kind
No,
of
that was
the
I'm not sure what I want to do yet.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't
where
know if it's
both
celerity or potence.
yeah, both celerity and potence are feeding on those, and that's actually your
Okay.
usual. That's your usual feeding. So we just need to, make sure that we bring it up somehow.
Okay.
And that'll be in your thing. It's harder for you to feed on weak people, melancholy, sad, scared, intellectual. That's okay, but sad, scared, depressed. That's not it. You tend to feed off the people that are bullying other people, bullying them for a living.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Let's say good night, and then we'll hit that stop recording button. Good night, whoever's watching this. Thank you, and I'm sorry, but I'm not going to have any more green screen because it was great without it. So, okay.
You know what? We just need to have just a picture put up behind you, and that'll be your behind your
Yeah.
artist.
Instead of doing the green screen filter, just put one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Just put a backdrop, damn it.
Uh huh.
Be old fashioned.
Yeah.
Take